gonna ram this so far down your bloody neck, you're gonna sweep the streets whilst you walk, you bitch!
You and who else? Don't you want your supplies?
You're Judy.
That's right.
And you left the stuff there?
Oh, clever girl.
What the hell are you doing round here? Here, and why come the heavy with me?
I just want to have a look at you. I mean, you share the same cell with Sharon, don't you?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I share the same cell. Only because the screws put us together. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing in it.
Really? Well, then why are you acting as a runner for Sharon? I mean, why would you be taking all these risks if you weren't on with her?
Oh, who's taking any risks? The stuff's still there, ain't it? As far as I'm concerned, it can stay there.
Then what are you doing here?
I figured you'd be back to see whether or not the stuff had gone. I was going to give you a note. Sharon must have told you about my baby. It's here, in a humidity crib. I can't ever see, but at least I can get to see her once in a while. Well, I'm not going to foul that up for no drug run, not even Sharon's.
Whose idea was this?
Mine.
You are helping Sharon.
Yeah, of course I'm helping her. You've got to help each other on the inside. Besides, this way no one gets caught. There's no search, nothing.
Latham.
Stow it. Remember what I said. Put it in a rusty beer can and drop it near the fence where I said.
Come on, Latham. This is a toilet, not a beauty parlour.
Careful. Don't just sit there. Give her a hand. What the hell's wrong with you, Pat?
Oh, I'm okay. That just fell out of my hands. The rotten things are so awkward.
Knock it off, Margot.
Geez, if B. Smith could see this. She said down tools, not down on your knees.
That's where she's going to be by the time they let her out of isolation. On her knees. Big.
Don't be so sure, kiddo.
Yeah. The way things are shaping up. She could be back here any day.
Bull.
No, seriously. I was talking to one of the screws earlier today, and she asked how it was that B could influence us while she was still in isolation.
What? Influence you? How?
She reckons it's B who got us back to work on this handcraft thing.
I got you back to work.
Yeah, so she could put one over on B. Looks like it backfired on you, kiddo.
Don't call me kiddo.
Or what?
Just don't do it, that's all.
All right, Miss Gilmore. Now what's it to be? Do we keep on with this kindergarten playtime crap, or do we down tools? Because you aren't going to stick it up B. Smith's nose either way.
Stuff the handcraft. Or get B. Smith some other way.
Okay. And when you've hatched your next little scheme, give us a call. Remember, we're always available for a price.
Yeah, I'll call you.
And don't forget, you owe us.
You get paid.
When?
Stuff's coming in tonight.
How?
Good ways.
What, pigeons?
Chrissy Latham.
I can hardly wait.
I said stuff that handcraft crap.
Don't you want to see me Operation Scar, then?
Get dressed. She's clean.
Of course I'm clean. If you'd have listened to me in the first place, I could have saved myself all these goosebumps.
Let's get a tea. Please go to Can't you sit down?
No, I learn better this way. Do you want some music?
No, thank you.
It's like a public library in here. Remember what it was like when Mum was alive? Radio serials in the morning. Loved her radio serials.
Tony, could you just get on with your studies, please?
Yeah, sure, Dad. Dad?
Mm-hmm.
You ever thought about getting remarried?
You're stupid.
No, I'm serious. You're still young enough.
Thank you.
I won't be hanging around forever.
I'll drink to that.
What about the birds out at Wentworth?
The feathered variety or the jail
No,
variety?
the warders or wardresses or whatever you call them.
That variety.
Yeah, that one you were talking about. Meg...
Jackson?
Yeah, Meg Jackson. She seems about your speed.
Tony,
What?
what is all this leading up to?
Nothing. It's just that... Well, I mean, she's widowed or divorced or something, isn't
Or
she?
something. Mm-hmm.
Well, and you were about the same age, and well, it's sad, that's all.
What is?
Well, you're living alone, her living alone.
It is not sad. I am not alone. I have a dubious company of a son who engages in idle conversation in order to avoid his studies, and I have my work. As for Meg Jackson, I'm sure she leads a full and happy life with an army of friends and relatives. So would you please get on with your studies?
But if I study, I pace. You don't like me pacing. Anyway, look, I'd rather sit round and talk.
Yeah, well, so would I. All night, if you like, once you've finished your studies. So get out of my chair and start pacing.
Don't I get a good night kiss then? If you change your mind, I'll be in the rec room.
Hi.
Hi. Anyone in the rec room?
Yeah? It's Pat and Sharon and a few of the others.
What's up?
That's a good question, eh, girls? Yeah. Where's the stuff?
What stuff?
Come on, kiddo, the stuff. The junk. The merchandise.
You're on the wrong tram, kiddo. I never made no pickup.
Don't give me that. You must have. You wouldn't have dared not to. And you got the stuff through too. Otherwise you'd be in solitary by now.
Oh, you're so bloody smart, aren't you? If I'd have had the stuff on me, I would be in solitary. They would have found it. I just had the full treatment back there, kiddo. Rubber gloves, the lot.
And they found nothing.
Nothing!
Well, they must have been getting ready to go home. Couldn't be bothered doing the job properly, but that's typical, isn't it? Yeah, right. Righto, girls. Let's look for ourselves.
Oh, help me. Please, God, somebody help me.
Chrissy!
Help me.
Oh, my God, what have they done to you? Oh, lie down, lie down. Here. Help! 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 Somebody help! Officer Williams! Officer Williams, I know you're there! What happened? Chrissy Latham. Somebody worked her over. Now, look, she's just had a baby. Why would anyone do that?
I don't know.
She was bringing stuff in for you.
Where'd you find her?
In the corridor inside the gates.
Did she say who did it?
She wasn't saying anything.
Well, if she was inside the gates, that means the screws didn't find anything. Somebody in here must have done her over for the stuff.
You saying one of us done, Chrissy?
One or more. Which makes me wonder where you lot disappeared to just now.
None of your bloody business.
Oh, that killer, you two! Look what you just dropped, Margot. Wouldn't you say these were drugs, Pat?
Yeah,
And didn't you just see them fall out of Margot's pocket?
yeah. And Lil might have dropped one or two as well. What do you reckon, girls?
I thought you didn't have any.
I always keep a few friends short.
All right, Gilmore. You've made your point. We'll forget that one.
I know we won't, Margot. We won't forget anything. And if you ever lay a hand on one of my people again... Now get out of here before we all start screaming for the screws.
Yes,
I've got to pick up here.
just go straight on to the next gate.
Right, thanks. Hi. Somebody rang for a taxi.
Well, they didn't tell me about it. Did they give a name?
They just said it was a Wentworth pickup. Could you check for me?
Sorry, love, I wouldn't know where to start.
I better ring the base and find out what's happening.
You don't know where the driver's coming from, do you?
Wouldn't you know it? The bloody call's been cancelled. They never even let me know. I better make up for lost time. See ya.
He's not coming up on the air at present, Heidelberg ground.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you feeling?
Stiff, sore.
Well, you'll be happy to know there's nothing broken and no internal damage.
Oh, you could have fooled me. Even me bloody ear aches. What's the time?
Just on 6. Doctor's coming in shortly, then I think you'll be able to get up.
Back to the treadmill.
Afraid so, if Doctor thinks you're well enough.
Any chance of conning him?
I shouldn't think so.
Come on, Latham, get something before it all goes.
You all right, Chrissy?
Yeah, I'm all right, Pat. You got one there for B?
Yeah?
Give him my regards, will you?
Yeah, I will.
Come on,
that I had anything to do with it, do you?
I don't know. I never made no pickup. I thought Judy might have got word to you.
You saw Judy?
Yeah, did I ever? That's one hell of a jealous lady. Did you tell her about us?
Don't be stupid.
Well, I had some pretty fast talking to do. I think I convinced her, though.
Good. What about my supplies?
What about the beating I took last night?
Over there.
Oh, I know who did it. What I don't know is why.
I found out you were bringing the stuff in.
Well, how'd they find out?
Never mind about that. That's nothing compared to what could happen to me if we don't get the stuff in.
Well, Judy should have made a second drop by now. Look for a beer can by the fence opposite the incinerator.
Good girl. All we've got to do now is get it inside. Of course.
Oh, come on! Even the animals in the zoo get fed on time. Pity you can't do the same in here. I thought this was supposed to be an isolation cell, not a bloody starvation cell.
About bloody time. Oh, don't get excited, V. It's only 5 minutes late.
Got any idea how long a minute is in here?
Was that you doing all that screaming and yelling last night? Yeah, me and Chrissy Latham. What happened? Well, Sharon Gilmore was taking over. She's organising drug runs. Chrissy got beat up, something terrible.
Drugs, the bitch. I'll tell you what you do. The minute you get a chance, dob her into the governor.
I can't lag. Besides, they want me to do the next pickup.
What a bunch of babies you are. Out of the way for 5 minutes, I am. Look at the mess you get yourself into.
Well, I don't want to get mixed up in drugs, B, but what if I don't do it?
I know. Do it.
What?
I think I know how I can make this work for us.
You mean you won't tell me who it was?
I mean, I can't tell you who it was.
Afraid they might try again?
Yeah, that's always on the cards in this joint, innit? That's not the reason, anyway. I told you before. They attacked me from behind. I never saw none of them.
And you've no idea why they attacked you?
Not a clue.
All right, Latham, you can go. And please be careful. According to the doctor's report, you are very fortunate you're not injured for life.
Yeah. Thanks, Mrs. Davidson.
Well?
She's covering.
Well, obviously. According to Dr. Herbert, she was subjected to a rather brutal body search as well as a harsh beating. There are very few reasons for covering up that sort of treatment.
Drugs.
Well, of course.
Do you think Latham could be organising herself as a pusher?
Well, if she is, she's very stupid. She knows we could stop her visits to her daughter.
Well, maybe someone forced her to act as a courier.
Maybe, but who?
Well, she shares with Gilmore. There could be a connection there.
Yes, Gilmore's in for drug offences. She could still have contacts.
Well, perhaps Latham did the pick-up for her, decided to keep the drugs for herself, and Gilmore's got nasty.
Perhaps. But how can we prove anything if no one will talk?
We can't, but I think we can safely assume that Gilmore's involved.
Yes. If we can't get to the bottom of the beating of Latham last night, we can at least take steps to stop the flow of the drugs. I want Gilmore's visiting rights stopped until further notice.
Right. You know, we hardly ever had a drug problem with B. Smith in circulation.
Paul Reed has you on side too.
It has nothing to do with Paul Reed. I'm simply
Are you
pointing out...
suggesting that I should rescind my instructions and put Smith back into circulation?
Well, it could clear this mess up.
Solve one problem and create a whole lot more. Smith stays where she is.
I'm not playing games, Mr. Reed.
Not playing B, the women have been on and off this project so many times it's making my head spin.
Well, I can't do anything about that.
Rubbish. Now, you just cast your mind back to our first meeting. We agreed then that the women take notice of you. They look to you for a lead.
Yeah, but I was in circulation then. I could communicate.
Oh, come off it, Bea. You communicate with the women at least 3 times a day.
What?
When they bring you meals.
Information comes into you, B, and instructions go out. Or have you lost control since you've been in isolation?
No way. Oh, all right, you might as well know. As long as your promise doesn't go any further than this room.
No further, that's a promise.
I can't promise.
Oh, what difference does it make? Okay, someone is trying to muscle in. And with me out of circulation, it's bloody hard to stop it.
What's her name?
Oh, no, no names. But I'll tell you this much. She's the one responsible for your drug problem.
Bea, if you would just give us the
No,
names.
Mrs. Jackson, I can't lag, not even on a dope pusher.
This isn't some story you've cooked up just to get out of isolation, is it?
Now, you should know better than that. You know how I feel about drugs and pushers, and you know why. I wouldn't cook up a story like this. But seeing as how you mentioned it, you get me out of isolation, and I'll have this place back to normal in no time flat. And you won't find so much as an aspirin in here.
Yeah, B, I've already tried to persuade Mrs.
Oh.
Davidson. All right, I'll try again. But no promises, okay?
Okay.
You finished here, O'Connell?
Yes, Mrs. Jackson.
Come with me and I'll let you through to the next section.
Everything okay, Pat?
Yes, Bea. Everything's fine.
Mrs. Jackson, any chance of seeing Mrs. Davidson now?
All right. But don't blame me if she won't see you.
How'd you go?
No good.
What do you mean, no good? Chrissy? Here a minute. Where'd you tell Judy to make the drop?
By the fence near the incinerator. I gave her a map.
I looked all along there.
And you told her to make the drop last night?
Yeah. Weren't it there?
No sign.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. Look, I've got to get back. Sorry, Sharon, there was nothing there.
I need that stuff, Chrissy. What went wrong?
Well, how should I know? Unless maybe...
What?
Well, when I met her last night, she was real aggro. You know, jealous.
You sure you didn't tell about us?
No, of course not. I told her that we were in the same cell, and, well, that's all. Maybe I wasn't convincing enough.
She wouldn't put up bail for me when I first got busted. She'd teach me a lesson, she says. And now she's going to cut off my supply because she's jealous of you and me. All right, Judy, my love. If that's the game you want to play.
Those are my instructions.
Well, why shouldn't she have visitors?
Look, lady, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. Mr. Reed?
I'll see you later, Stan.
Excuse me, Mr. Reed.
Yes, don't I know you?
Well, I'm Judy Bryant. I'm Sharon Gilmore's friend. I saw you at the trial.
Oh, yes, of course. Nice to see you again. Are you visiting Sharon?
Yeah, well, I want to, but they won't let me through.
Well, they must have given you a reason.
Well, they just said that she had her privileges stopped by the governor.
Oh, then I'm afraid there's nothing you can do about that.
I thought maybe you could have a word with them, you know? I mean, you must have some influence here.
Not that kind of influence, I'm afraid.
You bastard.
That's Judy, ain't it?
Sharon!
Probably come to change the rules. But you can't change the rules in the middle of the game, can you?
What's she up to?
I'd say she's on a buying spree.
Yeah, what's the currency, though?
Anything you like, except what we should have. Bloody marvellous, isn't it? Yesterday, they're all on side thinking they'll get what they want. Today, when the supply looks like drying up, they sell their souls for a few miserable fags and a bar of chocolate.
Sharon, we really need that stuff.
Too right we do. But how are we going to get it in?
So that's final, Smith. You will remain in isolation until I see fit to let you out.
Meanwhile, your whole system falls apart.
That's just the point, Smith. It is my system, not yours. I don't remember appointing you as guardian or overseer. I will run this prison in my own way.
How? I've been in isolation for days and I know more about what's going on in here than you do.
Such as?
You've got a drug problem, right?
We may have. However, it's nothing the staff cannot handle.
Then you know about the drug drop by the fence near the incinerator.
Are you sure of this?
Look for an empty beer can.
Why are you giving me this information?
Simple. I want out of isolation.
Who made the drop?
When do I get out?
You will get out of isolation when I am ready. Take her back, Mrs. Jackson.
Well, you know where to find me when you want me.
Erica Davidson here. I want all inmates brought inside immediately and all available staff to stand by to search the grounds. I shall be there directly to give my further instructions.
Nothing.
We'll just have to keep searching.
It's a waste of time. It's just another little ploy from B. Smith trying to worm a way out of isolation, if you ask me.
That may be so, but we'll keep looking.
Davidson, I think this is what we're looking for. Eureka.
Do you want us to continue the search?
No, I think we've found what we're looking for. Call the others back, please, Mr. Fletcher.
Officer Knox, Officer Watson, you can come in now. We've found what we're looking for.
Could I have a look at that?
Well, it's only an old beer can. I doubt whether we'll get anything much from this.
Any idea who might have organised the drop?
Well, Sharon Gilmore's an obvious choice. She's in here for drug offences. She'd still have contacts on the outside.
Well, it's funny that you should say that about outside contacts.
Oh?
Yeah, I was talking to Stan on the gate a short while ago, and he mentioned that a friend of Gilmore's, or her sister or whatever, tried to see her yesterday.
Coincidence?
Well, it could be. But when she was told she couldn't see her, she got a bit agitated. Apparently had a few choice words to say about Paul Reed.
All right. I want these fence lines patrolled day and night until we get this drug business resolved. I want a full and thorough search of the main building, top to bottom, starting with Sharon Gilmore's cell. Then I want body searches of all the women.
Go on, you lot, move it.
All right, come on.
B.
Out of yourselves, then. That's the way.
They're tearing the place apart.
Where's the stuff?
Just a minute, hold there. Thank you.
Here.
And the place of over.
Come on. Oh, look, they're bound to look in here as well. Let me flush them down the lavatory.
No way, I need these here with me. They're not going to search here. They know how I feel about dope. Besides, I told them where to find the rest of the stuff. I'll give them with a big miss. Good girl. Don't get lost.
We've covered the building top to bottom. Nothing.
And you are absolutely certain there are no drugs of any description anywhere within the prison complex?
Quite.
Have the fence line patrols been arranged?
They're on the job now, Mrs. Davidson.
Good. I want them maintained until further notice.
Rhonda? Yes? What do you reckon about me going and living with Dora and Kev once they get married?
Oh, I don't know. You worried about it?
Yeah, sort of. I know we're good mates and all that, but somehow...
It's like having your in-laws living with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get in the way.
Oh, rubbish. You know how Doreen feels about you. You are like a mother to her in lots of ways, excepting you haven't been round all her life. I think she wants you for moral support, if nothing else. Even if you do get in the way from time to time.
Who gets in the way?
Well, not you, and that's for sure. Eat and run, that's all you do these days. And leave the lights on all over the place.
I turned out the light.
Good for you.
How long's it going to be, Lizzie? Couple of minutes.
See? Eat and run. No time for us anymore.
Oh, sorry, but you know how it is. Where you going, Dor? Somewhere nice?
Only over to Kevin's place.
Well, don't you be home late. That Mr. Gilbertson, the solicitor's come to see us both in the morning.
Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. Gee, if we'd only let those two ladies stay that night they came here asking for help.
Now, don't start that again. How could we know it'd end in tragedy? We're not mind readers, are we?
You've only been in here 5 minutes. How do you know what they're like, eh? I mean, really like.
I'd say they're no better or worse than a million heavies all over the world, in or out of prison.
Maybe, but Margot and her tribe are in here, in this prison, and they're buying support. Sooner or later, they're going to have us with our backs to the wall.
Oh, get your finger off the panic button, Chrissy. They're not going to get anyone.
Oh, it's a bit late to say that, isn't it?
If Margot can buy support with a few lousy fags and a bit of chocolate, don't you think I can buy it back with what I have?
You mean have?
I mean have.
You got more stuff in here? Well, how come the screws...
Not in here, not right now, anyway. But I will have.
Oh, come on, Sharon. The screws are working overtime, checking everything coming in and out of here. You couldn't get a fag paper through here?
I'll get it through. Or at least Judy will.
Oh, you'd have to be joking. She missed the last drop or didn't make it at all.
You're forgetting that she's in love with me. And if she thinks she's losing me to someone else, then she'll do anything to win me back, including risking her aging jealous neck to get me what I want.
You've still got to make contact with her. Your visiting rights have been suspended indefinitely.
I'll find a way. Don't worry.
You better make it quick, before Margot buys up the old bloody prison.
Yeah, well, by the end of the financial year, I should have about another 600 saved, and then I reckon I'll get about 200 back from the tax return. So that should give me, us, a total of $2,500, right? Now, take off about 400 for the wedding reception.
Oh, but I'll cover that.
What?
The wedding. And we won't need $400. It's going to be small. Just a few friends, remember?
Yeah, but at least let me pay for it.
No, you've got to save up to buy your own truck, so you save your money and I'll pay for the wedding. And a few other things we might need.
Hang on, what are you thinking of buying?
Oh, just a few odds and ends.
Oh, we can make do with what we've got, can't we? Look, Doreen, just because you've come into a bit of a windfall doesn't
What
mean
do
you
you mean windfall?
your inheritance, you know.
Who told you about that?
I don't know, you must have.
I didn't.
All right, you didn't.
So it must have been Lizzie.
Yeah, it was Lizzie, and I'm sorry I mentioned it.
Why?
Because she asked me not to.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I suppose she wanted you to tell me yourself or something. Come to think of it, why didn't you tell me?
Well, after what happened before, I just wanted to make sure that you weren't... How long have you known?
What's it matter? I'm not marrying you for your money if that's what's worrying you.
Well, did you know before or after you asked me to marry you?
Before?
It had nothing to do with you proposing to me.
Doreen, look, I asked you to marry me because I love you. I couldn't give a damn about what you have or haven't got. Look, if I was after you for your money, do you think I'd be slaving my guts out trying to save up for a truck? Come here.
No, I don't suppose you would.
Dor coming in for breakfast?
Are you joking? When would she ever miss her food?
I'm sure I heard her crying when she came home last night. I just know that there's something... Oh, hello, love. Did you have a nice time last night?
Not bad.
What'd you do?
Oh, I talked, made plans. Kevin's going to buy a truck.
That's nice.
Yeah. Hey, Rhonda, do you know what time Angela gets into her office?
I haven't the faintest idea, Dor.
Yeah, I want to find out how long this probate thing takes.
Well, what's the hurry?
Well, the sooner it's fixed up, the sooner Kevin and me can move into the house.
Kevin know about the house, Dor?
Of course he does. Because you told him, didn't you? Oh, it's okay, Lizzie. He would have found out himself sooner or later. I just wish it had been later, that's all.
Oh, good, Dor. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to let it out. It just slipped out.
It's all
that
right,
night
Lizzie, honest.
You sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Anyway, now that it's all out in the open, I can't see any reason why we shouldn't speed things up a bit and me and Kev can move into Mum's house straight after the wedding.
Dor, why the sudden rush?
What, to get married?
Yeah.
Why not? The sooner it's done, the sooner I'll find out if he's marrying me for the house and the money.
Dor, Kevin isn't just after your money.
Yeah, that's what he said last night.
Then believe him, trust him. You can't go into marriage with doubts, otherwise you mess the whole thing up. So give it a fair go, won't you, love? Eh?
Yeah, I'll try, Lizzie. I'll try.
Miss Bennett, is the new roster taking in the fence lines. Could you have it radioed and posted, please?
This is spreading us a bit thin, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but it's the best I can do, I'm afraid.
Excuse me. I'm Hugh Gilbertson, solicitor for Mrs. Williams and Mrs. Simpson.
Oh, how do you do? Jim Fletcher, Deputy Governor. How's it going?
Well, I'm afraid I can't discuss the case with somebody not directly involved, you understand?
Yes, of course.
Mind you, I do have a proposal to put to both of them which could speed things up.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, what if you'd care to sign in? Miss Bennett, if you'd care to take Mr. Gilbertson to the interview room, I'll fetch Simpson and Williams.
This way.
Thank you.
But why do you want me to plead guilty to manslaughter?
You'd get a much lighter sentence.
But I'd be convicted.
Well, as I see it, Mrs. Simpson, the alternative is much less promising. Give a jury only the murder charge to go on, and they must bring in a verdict of guilty against you. You see, the inescapable fact is that you stabbed your father in the back. Now, prima facie, that is murder. Even with the mitigating circumstances taken into consideration, you'd be found guilty, and your mother would then be an accessory to murder, for which there is a pretty stiff penalty.
Are you saying that if I plead guilty to manslaughter, they'd drop the charges against my mother?
I'm saying that if you follow my advice, you'll both be out of here on bail in no time at all. You, Mrs. Simpson, will be convicted of manslaughter with, in all probability, a suspended sentence. And there's every chance that the case against your mother would be dismissed. She'd be a free woman.
Can you guarantee?
No, of course I can't guarantee it. But I stress once again, the alternative.
Very well, Mr. Gilbertson. I'll accept your proposal.
Thank you, Mrs. Simpson. I'll be in touch.
Thank you.
Well, he looks pretty pleased with himself.
Yes.
Things going well with the case, then, are they?
Yes, they are, thank you, Mr. Fletcher, though I don't really think it's any of your business. Now, would you mind escorting us back to our cell?
Yes, of course.
Come on, Mum. And I'll thank you to keep your hands to yourself in future.
Well, strike me lucky. Lunch. About bloody time, too.
Stop complaining,
now. Who's complaining? Oh, not salad again.
Who isn't complaining?
Oh, yeah, I know. Listen, how's everything going with that Sharon, Sheila, I mean?
Not too good, I'd say. Margot and her mob are up to something. They've been handing these out like there's no tomorrow.
Any strings?
Oh, just the usual stuff. Stick with me, kiddo, and you'll be okay.
Oh, and what's Margot trying to pull?
She's trying to move in on Sharon's drug scene.
Oh, well, Margot's got more brains than I gave her credit for. Pity it's not going to pay off for her.
What do you mean?
I have a few schemes of my own, and everything is going according to plan. I reckon by about this time tomorrow, Mrs. Davison's going to be ready to talk turkey. And then...
Morning, Pat. Sharon, Chrissy. Interesting change in the lineup this morning.
Is there? I hadn't noticed.
You will.
Listen, Pat, later on today, could you check the fence again? I'm sure Jim's made the drop by now.
Oh, come off it, Sharon. There are screws patrolling out there 24 hours a day.
Yeah, I know, but they trust you. You could do it.
Nothing doing. I don't want anything to do with you or Margot. Not anymore.
Why?
I've just seen B. Smith. She reckons she'll be back in circulation pretty soon.
So?
So, she hates drugs. You just watch the feathers fly.
Well, what do you reckon about that?
What? B. Smith out of isolation?
Yeah.
It's a lot of bull. The Screws have been dying to get rid of her for ages. They're not going to let her out now.
So Margot's our only worry.
Well, that's enough, isn't it?
We'll handle it.
This is what you wanted to see me about?
Well, they ain't aspirin.
I'm aware of that, Smith. How did they come to be in your possession?
Ah, now that I can't tell you.
So what's the point in bringing them to me?
Well, they're no use to me. But they prove that your 24-hour patrols and searches haven't worked. I got those just this morning.
I take it you want me to release you from isolation so you can clean up the drug problem.
Oh, well, I've got to admit, Mrs. Davidson, there isn't much I can do from isolation. I mean, for one thing, I'm not sure that those were all the drugs that came in this morning. There could be more somewhere. But you won't find them. And I sure as hell won't, not while I'm locked up out of the way.
I'll think it over, Smith, and let you know my decision later. Take her back.
What's up? Oh, it's this looking for a job. Nowadays, you have to have a diploma to wash dishes.
Don't worry, love. Something'll turn up. If you need some money, I got me pension check.
Oh, no thanks, Lizzie. I'll be all right for the time being.
Anyone home?
Oh, in the kitchen, Kevin.
I'll put the kettle on.
Hi.
Hi.
How are things?
Oh, everything's fine.
Oh, good. Because I got a surprise for you.
What?
Somebody coming down from the country is dying to meet you.
Who?
My mother.
Oh.
Yeah, great, eh?
Yeah, that's terrific, Kevin.
Yeah.
Really terrific.
Well, I'm for leaving her where she is. I know we've got a drug supply line in the prison, but surely the staff here are competent enough to handle it, given the time.
Time is what we don't have. We already know that another drop was made this morning.
Oh, so B. Smith tells us.
And had the proof to back it up. You saw that for yourself.
So it seems our precautions aren't working. Well, as far as I'm concerned, if Smith can clear this problem up, why not let her?
Because she's a known troublemaker. She may be able to clean the drug thing up quicker than we could, but what other trouble would she cause us later on?
It's nothing we can't handle. Smith's been in isolation for some time now, and she's heartily sick of it. She knows if she gets out of line, we can put her back in again just as easily as we let her out.
You know this is going to lead to a direct confrontation between Smith and Gilmore. We could be inviting all sorts of violence.
Miss Bennett has a point there.
Yes, point taken. But we haven't exactly been spared the odd bit of violence since Smith's been away, have we? I mean, just ask Chrissy Latham. No, the whole atmosphere is building up to something. Could erupt at any time.
They've brought a message from Margot.
If Margot wants to speak to me, let her do it herself.
Go easy, Sharon. They mean business.
Okay, what does she want?
Supplies.
Well, she can go to hell.
I said go easy. Margot's told them that if you don't cooperate, they're to work you over. They want that supply line, Sharon. And if you've any sense, you'll give it to them.
Is that so? Look, Chrissy, I can't back down now. Oh, you want to have a go? Well, who's going to be first?
Don't be a fool, Sharon. They don't know nothing about fair play, believe me.
All right, if that's the way we play the game, perhaps I'd better have this out, direct, with the boss cocky.
Leave me alone! Sharon! It's on! Get your hands off me!
It's a private party, or can anyone join?